Hello everyone, welcome to part 99 of Laravel 9 series in which we are creating the multi-vendor e-commerce website. So we will start working on the shopping cart page, and we are going to do two things in this shopping cart page. First of all, we are going to merge the design of the shopping cart page from our template, from our HTML template that we have downloaded in the earlier part of the series. And after that, we are going to show the card item. We are going to show the product items with the images, details, prices. Okay. And also we are going to do one more thing. We are going to work on this condition as well that we have left in last video. Product size not already exists in shopping cart, so we will make sure that the size of the product does not exist in the shopping cart. Only then the user can able to add. So we are going to do this with session id as well as from the user id. Okay. As we know that user id, we are going to work with the default auth of Laravel, with the web auth of Laravel. Okay. So here I'm going to show you as well that in the last video we able to add some of the products in our cards table as well, you can see, and both is having the user id as null. Okay. But we can see the session ids exist there. Okay. So but before that, before doing all this, there are few issues that we want to resolve. One of my friend Imran told me that there are few issues that are going on in this series that we are left with. So we want to make the website error free. So if there is any issue, if you find in this series, okay, then do intimate me. Maybe the issue at your end only, but maybe at my end also. Okay. So if the issue at my end, then I will surely try to resolve it. Okay, I will surely resolve it. Okay. And if the issue comes at your end, then you can also try to resolve it. Okay. Try spend some time, try to debug your code, try to identify the issue and try to resolve it. Okay. Otherwise I am always here to help you. Okay. So so the issues are, I'm going to tell you that what issue is exactly coming. So see, once we have added the vendor, once the vendor added the information into the website, the all the details, then the admin is going to check the vendor details that the vendor has added into our e-commerce website, into our multi-vendor e-commerce website, all the details. Then see, the admin will go to the panel and he will assess all the users, and suppose the John is the vendor. Here you can see the vendor, he registered into the website and he want to see the its details. Super admin want to see its details. Then he will click on the actions. Then you can see only the personal information is coming fine, that is fine, but his business information as well as the bank information is not coming at all. So there is some issue, with the variables that we want to see and resolve it. Okay. So one of my friend Imran told me about this issue, as he thoroughly try to understand. He is the premium member, and he tries to understand everything. Okay. So yeah, I really appreciate his efforts, and we are going to resolve it right now. See, personal information, business information and bank information are there. So I'm going to open this view vendor details page here straight away. View vendor details. Okay, here is the page. I'm going to check here, personal information is coming fine. Okay, so I'm going to check its variables, vendor details, so it's under the vendor personal. Okay, fine. So vendor personal is the okay array. We are taking it like this. Okay, so I'm going to check the business information now. See, vendor details and straightforward, we are using the shop name, shop address, but the middle array is missing somewhere. You can see the vendor personal is here, but here we are not using anything. So to confirm this one, so what must be there, I am going to check its route and then its function. So to debug the code, so view vendor details, I am going to open its route because I don't remember that what I have done at that time. I'm going to check view vendor details here, AdminController. Okay, it's under the AdminController. I'm going to check the AdminController now. Okay, so I'm going to check this view vendor details function. So I'm going to open this function now, and I'm going to debug this one. Okay, so how it will come, I'm going to check. I'm going to open in two tabs here, so that I will get the information here. Okay, So I will get all this information. See, all the informations are coming fine when we debug, but we are actually not adding in the blade file correctly. So here you can see the vendor business must come, and after that vendor bank must come. So vendor business must come after the vendor details. Okay, so here we need to modify this one. See, vendor, after vendor details, here the vendor business must come. Okay, so we will correct this from all, or we can start from here, and we can just select all. Okay, like this, it is simple enough. We can select all, only the vendor business details. Okay, so here now what we can do, we can just do it like this, and here vendor business will give vendor business. Make sure that you have added everywhere vendor business. Okay, and fine. uh, okay, so it seems to be fine. And here vendor two times. Okay, now it seems to be fine. I'm going to close now. Then see, and for this one as well, vendor bank must come for all the bank details. Here also we have missed here. Okay, so here also we are going to check these one like this, and here we can add vendor bank. Simple enough. And now we can stop the debugging here. We will check the exact output. Now it must work fine. Refresh it, and we are going to see all the information here. You can see the personal information, business information, as well as the bank information is coming fine. Okay, so all the information is now coming. Just you need to correct some of the variables, and then it will work fine. Okay, so like this you can debug, and you can identify your error, and you can resolve it. So there is another error. I'm going to close this one now. Okay, it has been resolved now, and there is one more error. Okay, so that also we are going to resolve it straight away. And that is like, if the admin approve the admin approve the vendor, like here is the vendors table, here it is. So once the vendor has been approved by the admin, like this John Singh, like John Singh, suppose like this one, Sanjay is the vendor that is disabled right now. Okay, disabled here as well. So once the admin approve this one, like he checks on this one status, he checked this status, and after that, see, now the status has been checked, and after that here must be one must be there, as the vendor status must be updated. But we are only updating the admin status. Okay, we are only updating the admin status, but we are not updating the vendor status. So we need to update the vendor status as well. Okay, so here I'm going to show you that we are updating the Sanjay status. See here, status is 1 now, but here we have not updated. In the same manner, like if I will do uncheck this one, John. Okay, now you can check here, John status is 0. Okay, here also it is 0. John status is 0 here also. Then once we will check this one. Okay, once we check this one, then the status at both end must be 1. Okay, now we have checked this one. Now we are going to check the status here in admin. That status must be 1. Here you can see the status is 1 now, but when we will check in vendors, then the status never change. Okay, John Singh status still 0, so that status must be 1 as well. So for that, we are going to modify our update admin status in the admin controller. I'm going to check the update admin status function. Update admin status. Here, whenever there is the vendor type is vendor, inside this we are going to update the status of the vendor as well. Okay, we are going to make the vendor status here, like vendor where we are going to compare with the vendor ID. Okay, and this ID we will get from the admin details. Here we are having the vendor ID in admin details array. Okay, so we can just get this one admin details, and here we are going to compare with the vendor ID, and here we are going to update the status in the same manner like we update the status at the admin, like this. Okay, now we are going to check just one line of code we need to add to resolve this one. Now see, now I will make unchecked once again. Now the status is 0 here. For John Singh, once again 0, and here as well status is already 0. Now once I will activate the status of the John Singh, then this status must be 1 at both ends, both at the admin's table and both at the vendor's table, like I have done it, checked it. Now the status must be 1 at the admin's table, here must be 1 is there, fine, and the status must be 1 at the vendor's table as well. Here now John Singh status, that is first entry, if I refresh it must be 1 here as well. You can see the 1 here comes as well. So this issue has been resolved as well. Okay, so please resolve these issues at your end as well, so that we can move further with the other things, and do keep telling me if you will find any issue. So so the another one that we are going to do now, two things now in the video. One is the product size not already exists, this one, this condition, but before that we will start merging the card page. Okay, so I'm going to check its template, the card template that we are going to merge, okay, that we have downloaded earlier in this series. We have downloaded the card template, if you remember. This is the card template, this is the e-commerce template that we have downloaded, and this is the card template. Okay, so I'm going to open this one at my browser. Here I'm going to open. So this is the card page, shopping cart page that we want to merge in our Laravel e-commerce website, Laravel 9 multi-vendor e-commerce website. Okay, so let's start merging this shopping cart page to our e-commerce website. So first of all, what we are going to do, we are going to see, I can close now this one. So first of all, I am going to create its route. Okay, so I will create its routes after admin closing this one, so I can create it here. Route here, we can create the get route for the card page. Card controller. Okay, product controller in front, we are going to create this function. At the last we can close this one, so that we can create this one correctly. Public function that will return view under front folder, under products folder, and we are going to create the car.blade.php file. Okay, so we can do that. See, this is ecom 9 resources, views, front products, and here we are going to create the another file, that is the car.blade.php file. Okay, so in Mac we can create simply by right click, services, new terminal, add folder, then touch command, what is the file name, card.blade.php, and in Windows, just you require to go inside the folder and you can create the new file in Windows. Okay, so card.blade.php file has been created. We can open this file like this one, and we can just copy its design from the another page like detail.blade.php file. Both things we are required, like extend this one and end section. Okay, so middle content we are going to copy from our HTML. Okay, this is our template that we have downloaded earlier in this series. Okay, so we are going to copy, we are going to first do it like this, so it will be easier for us to copy what thing we are going to copy. See, header footer we have already having in our design. Okay, so only the middle content we are going to copy. So we will copy from here to here, only this content we are required to copy. Okay, just we will copy this content, and now we are going to make it correct, format it. Okay, And now see, we are going to check in our card. We are going to open the card page now, and we'll see how it will look like. See, here it is showing correctly, and the images are not coming. For that we will set the images path as well, so that later on we will make it dynamically. But right now we must at least correct the path so that we can check, we can view its design, that its design is working fine. Only then we can move further with our functionality. Okay, so for jpg as well, we can do it all together like this. Okay, so now we can try once again, and here refresh. Okay, so our path is not correct here. Front must come before images. All the images are under front. So now we are going to check once again, and here you can see the images are now coming. Okay, so now you can see the complete details. It seems to be fine. Okay, so now see, in the next video we are going to make these products dynamically. We are going to show the products here in our shopping cart page dynamically, but before that we are required to add one more condition. Like I have told you, this condition is pending, that we are going to work out on it right now. Product side not already exists in shopping cart. See, before adding the product to the shopping cart, we need to check that the product is already exists in cart or not. Okay, and for that we need to check in our cards table that the product already exists. Like suppose if user want to add the product id 4 with the small side, then he can't add because his card is already having that same product. Okay, so right now we are using the session id, but we will also check up with the user id as well, that we will use after login. So this condition, we are going to work on this condition now. We are going to add the condition every time when the user try to add the product in card, then he will come up here in the post method in cartAdd function. Okay, here we are going to add, we are going to check product if already exists in the user card. Okay, check product if already exists in the user card. Okay, so first of all we are going to check, like suppose if the user is logged in, okay, then he will use the auth, default auth. So for that, first of all, first thing is we are going to use it, and for using it we are going to add it in our controller file, and that we are going to add it with the use auth. Like we use session, use db, now we are going to use auth. Okay, this is the way that we can use this default auth, web auth. Okay, like we are using the guards, here we are going to use the auth. Okay, so now we are going to add one condition here. Suppose if the user is logged in, so we are going to check the auth exists or not. Like auth check is the function that will check if the auth exists, if the user is logged in, if the auth has been started in our Laravel website or not. For this one, like user is logged in, and for that we are going to use auth check. If it fails, then it means the user is not logged in. Okay, else it means the user is not logged in, user is not logged in. Okay, so if the user is logged in, then what we are going to do, we are going to count the products. Like if the user is logged in, then we are going to compare with the user id. Okay, so how to compare with the user id? We are going to compare with the auth user id. See here the $user id, like $user id. How to compare, how to get the user id? Because now the auth the user is logged in, auth has been started, so we can get the user id like this, auth user id. Okay, this is the simple way to get the user id from the auth. It is same like we have used the guard earlier. Here in guard we are going to use like this, guard, then here admin. Which guard? Admin guard. This is the code of the guard, if you remember. Like if I will open the admin controller, then you can see, you can search for the guard here. See, this is the code for the guard. If you remember, like auth guard, we are going now simply auth. Now we are not using the guard, now simply auth. See, Laravel gives the auth as a predefined default auth. This is the default way, but guard you can means add as many guards as you want. Like this is the admin. Suppose if the vendor guard also we don't require, we treat vendor as the admin only. But if the vendor is something else, not the admin, some other thing, then we can call it like this vendor guard we can make, or we can create some other guard in our, like some other type of user come in our website, something like employee, some employee, then employee guard. Okay, so it is the way that we can use the multiple guards, we can add the multiple guards. Okay, so here we are just using the auth. Okay, not the guard, we are just using the default auth of the Laravel website. So auth user id, in case the user is logged in, then we are going to use it like this. Then we are going to count the products to check like how many products, if there is any products of this user already exists in the cart. We are going to check this one, card where product id, we are going to compare it with the product id that comes up here. Okay, this one, this is the condition. Okay, download data product id that the user decided to purchase. Okay, so first one is we are going to compare it with the this product id that the user decided to purchase, and along with the size. Here I am going to replace it with the size. Okay, and here I am going to compare with the user id as well. Okay, user id is $user id that we have just got from the auth user id. Okay, like this. So now here count, to count that there actually exists or something or not, be some kind of records already exist, its products that the user want to add already exist or not. So this is the case in which the user is logged in. Now if in case user is not logged in, that is the case that we are using right now, we are currently working on it right now. So in this case, here we are going to compare, we don't have the user id now, so we are going to compare it with the session id. Okay, so we are having the session id, and session id we have already generated earlier. Okay, we have already generated this session id, so we can use the session id. Okay, we can use this session id simply, we can compare it with the session id, and here the user id is nothing, user id is null, we can assign the null value to the user id like this. Okay, so here also like session id we are adding, here also we are going to add the user id like this. Okay, so now it seems to be perfect, like both session id and user id we are saving. So user id will only come if the user is logged in, otherwise user id will go as the 0. Okay, and session id will come if the user is not logged in. Okay, in that case we are going to add the session id. So we will try adding the one more product and make sure that there is no issue comes, though this card page will not work, but at least we will get the result in our shopping cart. Okay, we can remove these earlier entries, empty the table. Here we will going to get the result in our cards table. Okay, so here I'm going to add one entry here, and see the user is not logged in and he tries to add the product. Okay, product has been added in cart. I'm going to check here, see the user id is 0 this time and the session id is there. Okay, so it works fine every time. If the user id does not exist, and if there is the session id, means the user is not logged in, then we are going to store the session ID of the user instead of the user ID. But if the user ID is logged in, then we are going to store the user ID of the user. Okay, so in the next video we are going to show the products in the shopping cart dynamically added by the user. We are going to show here in the admin panel, and after that we are going to start working on the login register of the user with this default auth. I hope that you learn something new in this video, and you are going to try implement in your video as well. And now just after one more video, I put all this code online so that you can download its source code, and for that please join as the premium member. Okay, so you can just youtube.com and stack developers, you can open my channel, okay, and you can join it from here to get the complete source code up till part 100. Not only this one, you will get many things, like if you will join as the premium member, like you can open this sidemakers.in. Okay, this is the website that where I have all the code. Okay, you can just open this website, and here you can check in download section. We have the complete code, all the code, like multi-vendor e-commerce website, okay, and advanced e-commerce website, all the code. And from here secure.php, and here you can download. Okay, these are the benefits of the premium membership. Okay, you will get the multi-vendor e-commerce website, you will get the advanced e-commerce website, you will get the basic e-commerce website, you will get the dating website. Okay, many things you are going to get once you will join the membership. Okay, so I hope that you will join and get the complete source code and support. And so in next video we are going to work on the shopping cart. So please stay tuned for the next video so that we can complete this shopping cart page and we'll move further. See, first half of the shopping cart we are going to do, just we will show the products here. Okay, and after that we are going to work on the login register of the user is going to log in. After that we are going to work on the other things like the coupon code functionality, because all this is possible after the user will get logged in. Okay, so stay tuned for that. That's all for now. Have a nice time. Goodbye.